am so on time. I am such an on-time streamer who did not just knock over 2 earrings that are hanging from my ring light. And I definitely didn't put in an earring as the timer was counting down from 10. That didn't happen. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I've never been late in my life. That's never happened. I am known for being on time to things. How is the volume on everything? Because OBS broke for me today, like an hour or 2 ago, which is part of the lateness. Not all of the lateness. It's part of it. It's a little loud. Okay, hold on. Advanced audio properties. It's a little loud for me too. Like my like computer volume is really low. How is that? Is that any better? Yay! Okay, so OBS added a new thing. The way I used to do like audio capture when I did Apollo Justice and stuff would be, it was just capturing all audio that my computer let out. But right now, and so it was set to those parameters, but right now it's only capturing the game audio because they finally put in a like game audio capture source thing. And hopefully my mic is right, but I think I actually have it on the right settings this time. But I had to change the, I'm quiet in the game is a little bit loud. Crap, okay, hold on. Where the hell is my road? F. How is that for my volume? The game is still loud. Okay, hold on. Better? It says I'm peaking on OBS. I'm gonna mess with the game audio again though, hold on. I am saying words. This is also like kind of quiet for how I'm talking. It says I'm peaking on OBS, but I'm also adjusting my volume not through... I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna turn it down like in the actual game itself. Give me a second. Master volume. That would help. Then I can also turn up... Why is there such a... Hold on. Why is there such a disparity between, like... This is 40. And then... like, why do I have to put it so low to... I'm peeking a little? Okay, hold on. Okay, that might be better. I'm still peeking a little, but this is like what my usual set. Why is the game so fucking loud? Christ. Because it's loud for me too, the game. Hold on. There's such a disparity between like it just suddenly gets quiet. I may also just turn down the music, even though the music is what this game is known for. The score is like what got it to be a lot of it's what got it a lot of notoriety because some, if not all of the score is by Insane in the Rain, like of YouTube fame. Who I want to say does a lot of like jazz Pokemon covers. So the music is actually like how I know this game. Whenever my friend... No, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Nav, do you want mod powers? But yeah, what was I gonna say? I can give you a sword. Hold on. Thank you for allowing for... Yeah, I can give you a sword. That's what they're for. Is it gonna let me do it in OBS? It's not gonna let me do it in OBS. Are you not a mod on Kate's channel? I thought you were. How the fuck do I add? This was easy before. How did I do it last time? What the hell? Hold on. Maybe I have to actually go to Twitch to do it, which is exceedingly annoying. We're doing great, guys. The setup is the setup is so clean and not at all scuffed. Now can I make you a mod? No. What the hell? I'm trying so hard to give you a sword. I'm trying so hard. Also, this music is giving a little Club Penguin coffee shop. Hold on. Yeah, like I'm jamming, but it is giving Club Penguin coffee shop. Okay. I recall this being easier, but I also haven't had to make anybody a mod since Ghost Trick. Roles manager. Did that work? Do you have a funky sword? Yeah. Okay, we gave you a sword. There we go. Why was that so hard? I know how Twitch works. I'm great at it, guys. All right. We should probably actually like start this game. You now have mod view. Okay, I think I have everything set up. There's a solid chance something will like just break and the wheels will fall off. Oh my god, my alien stage cover. That's the other thing. My Nightbot commands, I fixed as the countdown was happening. So some of them may be wrong. Some of them may be entirely wrong. Oh, actually, I have a... Hi, Jupiter. Hold on, I do have to change one of my Nightbot commands. Because my spoiler policy is different for this game. My spoiler policy for this game is different than the usual ones because for once I'm going into a game blind. I guess the first thing that I streamed was a blind playthrough. And this is also a blind playthrough. Hold on. So I need to change it to, like, don't spoil me. I imagine the people who are playing Tyrion Cuthbert are few and far between. Hi, Nikki! Also, hi, Herman. Thank you for stopping by. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I imagine the people who are playing Tyrion Cuthbert are few and far between, and they're going to be, like, nice about spoilers. But just in case, you never fucking know. Let's start the fucking game. Let's start the fucking game. Also, oh, they're so cute. Wait. What the fuck was I gonna say? The, Temsic is not here. For people who are in my Discord server, Temsic is the only person I know who has played this game, and he is supposed to be my guide. And he mentioned he might be a little late, but he is planning on being here. Hi, Max. But I don't have a guide for this game. So if I get stuck, it's just going to be, like, really embarrassing until Temsic gets here. So hopefully it's, like, fine. Anyway, the weird girl is very cute. I've heard I've heard there are cute things in the there's a romance between Mr. Tyrion and Miss Weird Girl here, whose name I don't remember at all. But let's fucking go and hope I don't get wildly stuck. Because I'm expecting Ace Attorney. Oh god. The fields of battle are filled with suffering and despair. On them are a clash of souls. Souls brought to conflict by the corrupt powers that rule over them. Is your spoiler policy command just spoiler? Yes, it's just exclamation point spoiler. Reese Rudolph. I have a D&D character named Reese. I was transporting a client in my carriage that evening. That's a 34-year-old and not an old man. Maybe I should make less of an old voice. We were driving by the McCoy Tavern when we heard a disturbance. No, that was the right voice, actually. Is Nightbot being a little bitch? Oh, no, wait, I lied. It's spoil. It's not spoiler. I know my Nightbot commands. Reese is a good name. Hello. I was worried something was amiss, so I walked into the building to see what the commotion was. Thank you, Nav. There I saw the defendant. She was lit by the blue glow of the dining room lights. It's the weird girl, isn't it? And she was stabbing the victim with her magical sword. We're starting off strong, guys, with the innuendos. He has a voice! Okay. Mr. Rudolph, you testify that you saw my client murdering the victim. And you supposedly saw her casting magic while doing so. Yes, I could never forget such a grisly sight. Another man! That moment was burned into my memory. I see. Well, it's funny that you say that. He's only 20? Sorry, he's baby. I say having just played Apollo Justice, and I think no, Apollo's like 24, isn't he? Tyrion's only 20? Oh my god. How so? Because your entire testimony was a complete lie. What? Objection! Yeah! Fork found in kitchen. I want to cosplay Arya Steelwind. Surprising 0 people. Are you accusing the witness of perjury? Surely you know that such accusations can't be made lightly, Mr. Cuthbert. My accusation is far from baseless, Steelwind. New Julie cosplay unlocked. There's another one in this game. I don't know her name. I think she's the mentor. You'll see her and you'll know why you want to cosplay her. Think about the state of the crime scene at the time of the murder. The witness couldn't have seen anything, much less a homicide. Wow, this is just like in the case that Arthur Conan... Oh, shit. The case that Arthur Conan Doyle tried to make about the Indian man who was accused of mutilating animals. And he was like, no, he couldn't have done that. He could not have seen because he has terrible eyesight. This is Dual Destiny stuff, isn't it? I don't know how to do this. He knows something. But on this battlefield, there are still a few people who carry the ideals of justice within their hearts. But you have to wonder sometimes, are these ideals truly just? Athena mechanics? Or are they simply lies fed to us by our elders? Ooh. I don't know who the fuck that is. Damn it. Oh god. Cool. Linhardt, you fool! Why couldn't you have just listened to me? That's somebody's dad, isn't it? Hello! This game isn't gonna be good for my health, you guys. This game isn't gonna be good for my health for absolutely no reason. Another man. Rudolph, I require your assistance. Yes, sir. By the scaled lord, what did you... You killed him? Ren would be having a stroke. Ren would be having a stroke. That man looks like, Ashley. Attack of opportunity, that's good. Hi, Temsik. Not the Baroque Zoom. Temsik, if this is the man you were talking about, I'll scream. Totally is, isn't it? Alert the town guard. Tell them you saw his daughter fleeing the scene. I'm sure their neighbors heard them arguing with each other. It's not, okay. They'll immediately suspect her. At once, sir. A cold-hearted aristocrat. Yeah, no shit. Did you hear me say I want that drink obliterated? No, I did not. I think it would be an appropriate statement. Earlier that day. Ugh. You feel yourself slowly succumbing to unbearable pain. You don't think you'll be able to survive this much longer. There she is! Right, Ruby. Her name is Ruby, which is hilarious for me specifically. Anyway, surprising nobody. I want to cosplay her too. Are you sure you're okay, Cuthbert? You look like you're about to pass out. Yeah. Yeah. This is just going to turn into my best impression of Lauren. Don't worry about me, Miss Tamora. Tamora? I'm fine. You've been riding in this carriage for days. You are definitely not fine. With each bump in the road, you feel yourself becoming more and more nauseous. I like that there's a, like, obviously this isn't going to be a one-to-one Ace Attorney. But I really like that there is a narrator, because it feels like there's a DM. Taking every ounce of willpower just to hold down your lunch. I'm perfectly fine. If you say so. You feel the carriage drive over a large bump in the road. You can feel and hear your stomach retching in protest. Of the DM. Yeah, it's sort of like Baldur's Gate, I think. My only knowledge of Baldur's Gate is Nav and Kate's stream of it. The stew you ate for lunch doesn't taste nearly as good the second time. Ugh. On second thought. Oh, that's better. I'm not getting Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think my laptop will handle it. Hi, Jacob. For some reason I can't chat while casting, but here we are here and we are enjoying. I assume that includes Small. Hi. Everybody, this is my friend Jacob. He is the reason I know this game exists. You take a deep breath of fresh air. It's the first breath you've taken today that hasn't threatened to come back out. Sorry about this. She's 46! We won! She has like the Byleth coat. Campaigning for Ren to get BG3. Steam Deck can run BG3. Do I look like I have a Steam Deck? I didn't expect the roads in this town to be this uneven. I suppose they don't get a lot of traffic here. You've been on the road with your mentor for days. Together, you've been searching for a man named Flynnhart McCoy. Supposedly, he's been a voice of dissidence against King Olivier, I can't read, for the last few decades. You have no idea what kind of business Miss Tamora would have with him. But you know better than to ask questions about her affairs. Her affairs? I think that's a dead guy. Hello, travelers. Welcome to Cornhaven. A local merchant steps out from one of the nearby shops. He has a wide smile on his face. Yeah, that looks like a wide smile. And he approaches your carriage with the enthusiasm of a starving vulture. Would a pair of dignified individuals such as yourselves care for a refreshing drink? Those clothes, they must be from the city. He certainly has a friendly expression, but his thoughts seem very analytical. Well, I don't need a drink, but... Miss Tamora glances at you, and your stomach rumbles in agreement. Ah, of course. I have just the thing for an upset stomach. With a carriage like that, I bet I could fleece them for a lot. Oh, that's icy. With a carriage like that, I bet I could fleece them for a lot. His thoughts and emotions are laid bare through your eye of Horus. This is a good bit. It's a good bit. But the merchant's expression doesn't betray a hint of what he's truly thinking. You wonder if his false smile could get any bigger. At this rate, he might dislocate his jaw. How about 2 flasks of apple juice for 50 silver pieces? 50? 50 silver pieces. You may find the price daunting, but this is organic and fresh-made apple juice. Just store-bought juice, but I bet they can't even tell the difference. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot an empty bottle of store-bought apple juice. It's resting on a table inside the merchant's shop. Store-bought apple juice has been added to your totally not your court record. Cornhaven merchant has a bottle of store-bought apple juice. It's resting on a table inside his shop. It's suspiciously empty. Tyrion will take mental notes of notable clues he sees in the world. These notes are instrumental to solving mysteries and progressing through the game. You can check these notes at any time by opening the toolbar in the top left of your screen. Ooh, okay. Is this history? Yeah, okay. History button, save, settings. What is this, full screen? No, this title screen. Neat. Yay. Yay, fun. I love that it says attorney versus defense attorney, like... It's my notes! It's totally not my court record, guys. Sorry. Trust me, it's worth the extra gold. Normally, the price wouldn't matter that much to you, but it's about the principle. But you don't appreciate being treated like an easy mark. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, he's a little fucked up. Arguments. You started an argument with another character. During an argument, your opponent will make claims that you need to respond to. Responding correctly will lower your opponent's confidence. Responding incorrectly will lower your confidence. And once you run out of confidence, you will lose the argument. Ooh, okay. I like that there isn't, like, an opponent and your own stat. I think you need to elaborate. You said that this apple juice is organic, but where is it made? It's produced by the hardworking people of this town, of course. I only trade organic products. In a small town like ours, we only deal with locally sourced products. For certain claims, you will need to present a piece of evidence to refute that claim. To proceed, present the piece of evidence that contradicts your opponent's claim. Present apple. You say that, but I can see an empty bottle of store-bought juice inside your shop. We have court record at home. Why would you have something like that if you only deal with organic products? Oh, how did that get there? One day I will cosplay Tyrion. Ooh, cosplay Tyrion. You want to cosplay Tyrion so bad? Luckily, he doesn't have like an insane suit. Present appel. Make no mistake. I only have that because I wanted to see how my products compare to that of the city. Why is it only playing my cover Nightbot command? I have other Nightbot commands. I didn't change any of them. Okay. Let me tell you, that mass-produced slop doesn't even compare to my product. An obvious lie. Honestly, I'm offering you a very good deal. Ooh, okay. Interpreting during arguments. For certain claims, you will need to look at your opponent's thoughts and emotions. Choose the correct response, depending on the information seen. Logic. Oh, okay, so logic, intuition, and empathy. Choose this option if your opponent's thought contradicts something in your notes. Choose this option if your opponent's thought contradicts their claim. Empathy if their emotions contradict their claim. Okay. Interesting. I totally read that and then immediately blanked. So this... I mean, his thoughts contradict his claim, right? Which is intuition? Or is it logic? I read it and then did not actually retain anything. And it's not in the text log. Cool. We're doing great, we're doing great. I think it's... Oh, it tells you. Great. Claims that contradicts thoughts seen through the eye. Intuition. Sir, it's obvious those flasks are only worth 5 silver. What? How did you... Well, clearly a very shrewd man. Right. Argument 1. It's also... The eye is giving Somnium files. Oh. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a child watching you from afar. Her eyes are fixed on the flasks of apple juice. How about 20 silver pieces for 3 flasks?
Of course, sir.
Oh, hey. The kingdom of... Is it Wyvern Guard or Wyvern Guard? We had this conversation. Nav and I had this conversation, I think, while Kate was streaming Baldur's Gate, of whether we say Wyvern or Wyvern. Wyvern Guard feels right. No, now that I say it, it doesn't. Wyvern Guard? Sure. Established several centuries ago by the 7 High Archmages. The kingdom is currently ruled by King Olivier de Wyvern... de Wyvern Guard. I'm never gonna say it the same way. And the mages of his nobility. The nobility will tell you that our marvelous kingdom is a land of prosperity and happiness. A land where its people share the wealth and, I don't know how to say that word, provided by the kingdom's magic.
Thank you. I haven't had anything like this in years.
The child's passing thoughts tell you exactly how much, I still don't know how to say that word, the kingdom is sharing. I didn't know you had such an eye for rural economics. Is it Succor? Fuck. Well, I suppose I just have a good intuition for this sort of thing. Or did you use another kind of eye? No. Don't get me wrong, your so-called Eye of Horus is an amazing gift. You should take every opportunity to hone it. But try to be more subtle next time. If I can see through you, others will be able to as well. Right. Anyway, I did some asking around while you were haggling. Supposedly, the McCoy Tavern should be north of here. If my tip is correct, this should be the place. Or we're about to get ambushed. Wait, this is the McCoy Tavern? With the state it's in, calling it a tavern is being pretty generous. You find it hard to believe that this has a secret meeting place for dissidents. But now that you think about it, maybe that's the entire point? The tavern has been shut down for years. Nowadays, Flintheart just uses it to host his rallies. Although I do wonder how they've been keeping themselves afloat for this long. Same background.
Hey, you lot! The McCoy Tavern is closed!
A gruff man approaches your carriage as you step out of it. He's eyeing you and Miss Tamora, a clear look of contempt on his face. These are, like, really detailed backgrounds, though. I imagine they are expensive. I take it that you're Flintheart McCoy.
I am. What of it?
I'm gonna run out of voices, you guys. Occupation unemployed. Sorry for not writing ahead of time. But I'm Ruby Tamora. I wanted to speak with you.
Ruby Tamora? Wait, the Ruby Tamora?
Any animosity he initially had immediately vanishes. He lets out a laugh. It's as if he were meeting an old friend.
Why didn't you say so? Come on in.
You didn't expect someone like him to know about Miss Tamora. You know why this game looks way easier to play than the first 2 Ace Attorneys? Because the first 2 Ace Attorneys were made in the 2000s. The first 2 Ace Attorneys are janky, especially the first one. Like, it's not a... It's... Playing the first 2 Ace Attorneys after going through, like, the Great Ace Attorney is like going back to horse and buggy days. Hi, Nick. Magic Ace Attorney game. Lacked a lot of quality of life touches. Honestly, even some later ones, because Apollo Justice does the really bad, like, it's impossible to, like, not fast travel, but you have to travel through, like, connecting points. It's so annoying. But you suppose it makes sense. They both fight against the same enemy. Albeit in different ways.
Sorry about the mess. We haven't exactly been... Well, anyways, what brings you here? I take it you didn't journey all this way just to see my wrecked tavern.
I'm here on behalf of a client. We have a proposition that you might be interested in. Is there anywhere where we could talk more privately?
Sure, the kitchen is empty.
I have heard, like, Dual Destinies, because I haven't played it. I've heard that Dual Destinies, like, the courtroom sections are much easier, and, like, the emotion thing looks like Athena's.
her widget abilities. So I wouldn't be surprised if it borrowed from that. Sure, the kitchen is empty. I don't know if I said that already. Wonderful. Tyrion, stay here while I speak with McCoy. What? Don't you need my help? There's no need for that. Like hell there's no need for that. She's trying to make a deal with Flintheart. You can easily read his thoughts to help her. Oh shit. Oh shit. I like her. You desperately want to object, but she shoots you a stern look that causes you to freeze up. You slowly look away from her. You spend some time waiting alone in the tavern's dining area, twiddling your thumbs. It's already been hours since Miss Tamora and Flintheart went to talk in the kitchen. You can hear faint murmurs from behind the closed door, and you've been resisting the urge to eavesdrop. But even from here, you can tell that their conversation is slowly becoming more frustrated. Looks like they're going to be a while. Exploration time? Well, it's a good thing you always bring a chess set around. Worse. You bring out the small chessboard that you've carried around since you were a child. Chess can be played with one person, and you've always taken advantage of that. This one is mine. You already have enough adopted kids, right? I want this one. And it's a whole ass 20-year-old. Checkmate. You win against yourself. This time is black. Played 10 games already. I won 7 out of 10 times as black. Weird girl.
Hello?
Statistically, white is more likely to win. Unbeknownst to you, you're thinking out loud. So why am I performing so much better when I'm playing as black?
Hello?
You still don't notice her. And you're verbalizing your thoughts just as fast as you're thinking them. I'm becoming as overconfident as white because it's a first move advantage. Perhaps that very advantage is affecting my choices and making me play in a suboptimal manner. Personal quirk is making me play illogically, then I need to correct it.
Hey!
What? How long have you been standing there?
It's about time you noticed me. I've been trying to get your attention for a while now.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know where my dad is?
Your dad?
Flintheart McCoy. I'm his daughter, Celeste.
Yay! Mercenary, okay. Oh, Flintheart is speaking with my mentor right now. This is great. This is great.
Oh, I wanted to show him something.
Oh, she's 19. I thought she was 18.
Do you know when they'll be done?
I don't know. They've been speaking in the kitchen for a while now. My mentor. Christ. That's really good. You hear Flintheart and Miss Tamora's voices getting louder and more frustrated, but Celeste doesn't seem to notice. I was like, are they hinting at, is that mom, like, in the, like, looking up to her way, and not in the, like, she's secretly my mother way. And they just beat me to it. You see why I'm completely normal about this game? Yeah, it's fun. I'm having fun. Her eyes seem to be focused on your chessboard. Are you good? Are they gonna play against each other?
This is chess, right? Are you playing against someone?
Oh, I'm playing against myself, actually.
Oh, that's...
Feel a judgmental stare. Playing alone helps me develop new strategies. Plenty of professionals do it.
Hey, I'm not the type to shame a man for playing with himself.
That's... I love her.
Relax, I'm just joking. Anyways, if you're still waiting for your mentor, do you want to play a game?
Hey, yo. Oh, you know how to play?
Sure, I've read about this before.
She's gonna totally, like, decimate me, isn't she? She's read about it?
This table is so dusty.
Celeste takes a seat on the other side of the table. She tries to set up her side of the board but fumbles with the pieces. She stares at one of them, confused.
How do I arrange these things again?
Okay, maybe she's not going to decimate me. Part of you regrets accepting her challenge, but it would be impolite to back out now. Here, I'll arrange them for you.
Thanks!
Checkmate. You defeat her in 2 moves.
Wait, what? Already? How did you do that?
I actually like that she doesn't just wreck him. I think it'd be funny if she did, though. You decide against telling her what the name of that mate was.
Rematch me! I want to do over.
Sure, why not? I'm trying to tell. It's like hard to tell from her sprite picture, but I'm trying to tell if it's like like 2 high slits in her skirt or if it's like another skirt underneath. The Tyrion is actually really good at this one thing. He's interesting. He's interesting. You can see the like perfectionism a little bit already. The only checkmate you can do in those 2 moves is called the Fool's Mate. That's cute. Goofy. Not as if you have anything better to do. Because if she has like a 2 high slit skirt, then she might also creep onto my cosplay list. I like her cape. Skirtception, yeah. Celeste brow furrows as she tries to decide on her next move. But she hasn't realized that the game is already finished.
Here.
She moves her knight into a position to attack your queen. It should have stopped your assault on her king, but... Checkmate. Scholar's mate this time.
What? Come on, how do you keep doing that?
You look at the closed door to the kitchen. Linhardt and Miss Tamora's discussion is becoming louder. Doesn't sound like they'll be done anytime soon.
Again, I'll definitely beat you this time.
For someone who had clearly never played before, she's quickly improving with each game. It's impressive. She's observing your strategies and adapting them to her playstyle. Oh shit, okay. With the way she's playing now, she could even defeat a nationally ranked noble. Jesus. Checkmate. But even so, you've been playing this game for a lot longer than she has.
How are you always one step ahead of me? It's like you're reading my mind.
As if you'd even need to.
Just one more game, I'll get you this time.
Hello, Cuthbert. Miss Tamora emerges from the kitchen with Linhardt. They both look mentally exhausted. It looks like negotiations didn't go well.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hello, sweetie. Linhardt looks irritated. But as soon as he sees Celeste, he quickly hides it behind a smile. Yeah, Tyrion's a little bit of a bitch. It's fun. You wonder what their discussion was about. What's this? Some kind of game? Miss Tamora glances at the pieces on the board. Don't feel too bad about losing to him. He's nationally ranked. Oh, but he's a girl dad. He is a girl dad.
Oh, you're a professional. Is that why you're wearing a suit?
No, chess is just a hobby. I'm actually a defense attorney.
An attorney?
Speaking of which, we should probably be on our way. Aye. Sorry for refusing you after you came all this way. He should probably definitely be Scottish. I can't do that accent. Really respect what you're doing. But I didn't want anything to do with your mage friends. Celeste should probably also be Scottish. But I can't do that. What the hell is going on with Nightbot? Okay.
Oh, she's sad.
You wonder what he meant by that. Was Miss Tamora trying to introduce him to one of our clients?
Anyways, it is getting late.
An attorney? I'm sure that won't become important at all. Scotland forever! Christ.
If you leave now, you won't get back to the city until morning.
She's right. This region is littered with bandits and brigands. You wouldn't want to run into them this late. Obnoxious bagpipes. I guess you have a point. I'll toss in some more British people as time goes on. Other various accents I have in my back pocket. We have plenty of empty rooms that you can stay until morning. The least I can do after you came all this way. Well, if it's not too much trouble, we might as well stay here until tomorrow.
The tavern is shut down, but we still have some sheets and blankets. I'll go get the rooms ready.
Celeste and Flintheart leave the dining area to get your rooms ready. You're left in the dining room with Miss Tamora. So I take it that negotiations didn't go well? No, I didn't expect him to be so stubborn. Honestly, I have no idea what that man has against mages. This, too, is Dragon Age. Well, there is one way to find out. Is she gonna do the angry sprite again? Oh no. Why are you being so secretive? If your business with Flintheart is related to her clients, I can help. It wasn't important, and your presence was not necessary. That's such an obvious lie, but you can't read a single thought from her mind. She's had years of practice hiding her thoughts from the eye of Horus. Celeste enthusiastically came back downstairs. But she seems to have noticed the tension between you and Miss Tamora.
Sorry to interrupt, but your rooms are ready now?
Right. Thank you. Ooh. An awkward silence hangs in the air as you and Miss Tamora head upstairs. You reach the upper hallway and see 2 rooms that Celeste prepared for you. I'm getting a bad feeling, and the bad feeling is like the plot of the first case in Danganronpa. Miss Tamora stops before entering her room. You were playing chess with Flintheart's daughter earlier. Was she any good? Not at first, but she got a lot better as we kept playing. I'm sorry for leaving you there for so long. I didn't expect our discussion to last that long. No, it's fine. Despite everything, I enjoyed playing against her. I see. Well, I suppose you are at that age. No, it's not like that. It's just that outside of tournaments, I never really get to play against another player. And do you only ever want to play shogi against me? Because shogi is clearly superior. It's complete anarchy is what it is. You just bring fallen pieces back to life like some kind of necromancer. It adds depth. Dropping adds a dimension of play that isn't present in chess. I did not know that was a thing you could do in shogi. You sternly look at each other, your position's already made. After a few moments of silence, you both burst out laughing. Oh. I'm sorry if it looks like I don't trust you. I know you're just trying to help. But there are some things about my work that I just can't tell you about yet. I don't trust her entirely. Which is a good sign for a character that I'll like. But one day, I'll tell you everything. But do I have any... I don't. I'm getting such death flags from her. It's not great. Right, I'm sorry for prying. I just want to show you I'm ready to be an attorney. You are. I know you are. The rare praise from your mentor catches you off guard. Anyways, get some rest. She's fully communicating in semaphore at this point, yeah. She is the Mia Fey. There's something up about her. I know she's not the victim in this case because we already know who it is. And I'm also, like, fairly certain she's not the killer based on we also saw that, I think. Unless it's trying to red herring us, but, like, man. You should mentally prepare yourself for the long journey tomorrow. I'm also interested in her... Hold on. I mean, we're in our profiles. I'm curious about the arcane art nun. Oh, she does have one. She can do transmutation. But Tyrion, oddly, doesn't have one. And I kind of don't trust that Ruby doesn't have one. Flintheart, that makes sense to me. I also don't entirely know the world yet, so I don't know if, like, there's a difference between just having magic and, like, focusing on one arcane art. But I guess we'll find out. You should mentally prepare yourself for the journey tomorrow. Right. You completely forgot about the carriage ride back. You can already feel your stomach churning in protest. You lay in the bed that the McCoys prepared for you. And you close your eyes, And as you close your eyes, you slowly drift into a deep slumber. Ooh. This is pretty. I really like this. Just immediate favorite track. As this happens, you feel something invasive. Your mind drifts away, and you feel yourself being pulled elsewhere. Ooh! Why? Fucking Sauron-ass. Hello? You find yourself in a surreal and unsettling landscape. You're fairly certain that you're dreaming right now. Some instinct in the back of your mind tells you that something is fundamentally wrong about this. Ugh! Hello? What? Hello? I can see tiny bits. Tiny, tiny bits. Okay, that's not somebody I recognize yet. I think. You see a woman in the far distance. She's staring directly at you. What? Oh, that's a girl. What? Presence. She's murmuring something, but you can't quite make it out. She's trying to say something to you?
Finally found.
Hello? Spooky? Does this game get spooky? I'm very excited if it does. You're jolted wide awake? You can't exactly remember what that woman said to you. Found you heavens born? Whatever her words were, they sent a piercing chill down your spine. Your breath is heavy and your heart is beating at 100 miles per hour. Calm down. It was just a dream. At least, that's what you try to tell yourself. Please, just let me explain. I don't want to hear it. You hear the voices of Celeste and Flintheart ring out from downstairs. It must be extremely late. What could they possibly be arguing about at this hour? I want you out of my house! Out! A dead silence lingers in the air before you hear someone rush out of the tavern. Whoever left slams the door behind them. What was that all about? None of your business. You only met those two today. It would probably be best not to get involved in their affairs. And as you tell yourself that, a brief image of Celeste's smile appears in your mind. Ooh. Bro, you're fucked. Damn it. You slowly make your way out of your room. Oh, I thought I clicked and it didn't. But the hallway is nearly pitch black. You can barely see a few inches ahead of you. Dancing lights can't trip. Come on, dancing lights can't trip. You have to watch your step to avoid tripping. A candle, anything. You run into Flintheart, who was slowly walking up the stairs. Even this close, it's hard to see his expression in the darkness. Sorry, I just heard... Right, I forgot you two were. His words trail off. Is everything okay? Gonna take that as a no. Sorry, I'm just going to... You awkwardly shimmy past Flintheart to head down the stairs. He doesn't move out of your way. Clear his mind is elsewhere. You arrive at the dining room, but you don't see Celeste anywhere. Honestly, though, it's hard to tell with how dark the room is. Celeste? Are you still here? You don't receive an answer. You remember hearing someone slam the front door earlier. Your eyes are drawn to the tavern entrance. Celeste? No answer. Celeste? Where are you? Ugh. The merchant you spoke with before steps out from his shop holding a lantern. Hello? Ah, Trav, thank you! Hi! A raid! Yippee! Oh my god, hi! Thanks so much, Trav. I have to, introduce myself? Hi, I'm Julie, also known as Twifairy. I play a lot of lawyer game. Currently, I'm playing a lawyer game. Oh god. I guess I could do my where the fuck is what the fuck? I don't know if I've ever had a raid before. I don't think I have. Maybe I have. I don't know. Welcome, I hope y'all enjoy your stay. This is also the first installment of this game, so if you're new to it, y'all have great timing. What the fuck do I have? I don't remember any of my Nightbot commands suddenly. That's fine. We're gonna just keep going. I'm also taking breaks to just drink soy milk. Because soy milk is good. The merchant you spoke with before steps out from his shop holding a lantern. He appears to be irritated by all the noise that you've been making. No, you're that kid from before. You have any idea what time it is? This isn't the city. You can't just make a bunch of noise like this. Right. Sorry. I was just looking for Celeste. Oh. Celeste McCoy? She's Flintheart's daughter? The merchant's expression becomes a little colder. Do you know, then? What do you want with that bastard? Oh. This too is Dragon Age. What? Those two probably woke up half the street with all their yelling. I don't need you keeping us up too. If I hear any more noise, I'm gonna call the town guard. Before you can get a word in, the merchant walks back into his home in a huff. You look around, but you still don't see any sign of Celeste. You decide to continue searching. Can't believe I said those things to her. She'll never forgive me for this. I see your temper is as short as ever, Flintheart. You? Honestly, how do you live in this darkness? Okay, magic. What are you doing here? How dare you bring that witchcraft into my home? Oh yeah, I have a Ko-fi backup, guys. I actually have a Ko-fi backup. It took 84 years, but I have a Ko-fi that you can support me at now. It is up and running again. If I really lock in and get my shit together, I'll do like tiers or something at some point. But until then, you can buy me a coffee. You've been busy lately. Your little rallies have gained quite a lot of support. Too much support for my family's liking. Okay, I see your shit. And what? You came all this way to convince me to stop? You have my word. If you stop spreading dissidence, no harm will come to you or your family. Your word is as good as the dirt you lick off of King Olivier's boots. If I'd ever trust the words of a murderer like you. We're doing great. We're starting off strong. Flintheart, please. As someone you once called a friend, I'm only going to ask you one time. Friend? Friend? I'll be dead in the ground before I ever call the likes of you a friend. Says man who's about to die. Get out of my house! I don't have time for your nonsense. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll have much time for anything. Damn it. Damn it! Flintheart, you fool! Why couldn't you have just listened to me? Brutal first stats, by the way. Rudolph, I require your assistance. Yes, sir. By the scaled lord, what did you... God damn it, the girl dad is dead. Yeah, he died before you came in, Nick. He died like a couple minutes before you came in. I want to say it was a flashback and then we're going back to it now. Alert the town guard. Tell them that you saw his daughter fleeing the scene. I'm sure their neighbors heard them arguing with each other. They'll immediately suspect her. God damn it. Yeah, kind of shit. At once, sir. Rip. Flintheart. You've been searching for Celeste for a while. How long have you been outside? 2 hours? 3? However long it's been, it's clearly taking a toll on you. Where is she? Chat is working for you again. Oh no, was it broken for a second?
What am I gonna do now?
Luckily, I haven't needed a guide yet. You hear a faint voice. Could it be?
Oh!
As you peer behind an old tree, you finally find her. She looks just as tired as you are, probably even more so. Her eyes are puffy and red, but she's doing her best to hide it with a smile. I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm guessing we woke you up? Yeah. Is everything okay?
It's nothing. It was just an argument.
From the way she reacted, this is clearly not common. You suppose that's none of your business. You decide not to pry farther.
Have you been looking for me all this time?
I have.
Thank you.
She's evocation. This means that when she casts an evocation spell that affects other creatures that she can see, she can choose a number of them equal to 1 plus the spell's level. Oh god. Actual magic mechanics.
But I'm okay now. You should head back.
What about you?
I think I'm gonna stay out a little longer.
You know that you should mind your own business, but I'm sure whatever happened between you two, it's nothing you can't talk out. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes Miss Tamora and I get into fights too, and she's totally not my mom, guys. But no matter what happens, we were always able to talk through it. Just copy the rules for evocation wizards. Sorry, I know it's none of my business,
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh.
You're right. Let's go back.
What? You arrive back at the McCoy Tavern. But it's now surrounded by several carriages and knights clad in plate armor. Is that the Inquisition? It is Dragon Age Inquisition! I was doing a funny.
What?
The Arcane Inquisition. They're an order of knights that investigate crimes committed using magic. As you say the word crimes, you and Celeste share a glance and come to the same realization. Both of you rush towards the tavern, but Celeste outpaces you by a large margin. They are cute. Oh.
What? No.
Nobody expects the Arcane Inquisition.
No!
She reaches the tavern before you, and before anyone can stop her, she takes a look inside the inn. Whatever she saw makes her cry out in anguish. She drops to the ground in tears. There she is! I've used the same voice 20 times now. Celeste McCoy. This guy can be British. We'll make this guy British, because I've seen his name come up multiple times. Celeste McCoy, by the authority of the Wyvern God Crown, I'm placing you under arrest. Upon seeing Celeste, one of the knights steps forward and grabs her. Surprisingly, she's able to break free from his grip and tries to push further into the tavern. Noticing the commotion, 3 other knights rush to grab her and begin dragging her away. She kicks and screams against them, desperately trying to break free. Even between the 3 knights, it's taking all of their strength to subdue her. What are you doing to her? What's going on here? Tyrion! Miss Tamora approaches you. You breathe a small sigh of relief when you see that she's okay. Miss Tamora? Oh, I should have known that he was one of yours. Just stay out of her way. Miss Tamora, what's going on? Why is the Inquisition here? I'm surprised myself. But from what I understand, Linhart McCoy has been murdered. Murdered? Myrtle. I would like to save my progress. Thanks, game. Right data at the save slot. Yay! Yippee! We made it through one part. I may actually take that as a cue to take a short break. How long have we been doing this? Hold on.
How long has it been?
Where the fuck is my timestamp thingy? Oh, it's only been an hour. Jeez. Okay. The goal is to try and get this game done before Investigations comes out. And I don't know if that'll happen. But we'll see. I'm just gonna keep going, actually. I might be able to fit more parts into this stream. You follow the Inquisition back to the city where Celeste is being detained. According to Miss Tamora, Celeste was the prime suspect in Flintheart's murder. It's not important now, but you have to select a new game at the end of cases. Oh, interesting. Oh, because each one is like a separate, I see. Due to the supposed nature of the crime, her case would be pushed to trial immediately. But many elements of the situation still don't make sense. The Inquisition only investigates crimes committed using magic. So why is Celeste their prime suspect? Could she be a mage? She totally is. This is ridiculous. She has a right to speak to an attorney. Anyway, you find yourself met with another hurdle. Very frustrating one. Yeah, well, we can't let you see her until she's been processed. Her trial is in an hour. How has she not been processed yet? I don't know what to tell you, kid. I wish I could help. You don't need to use the eye to know that's a complete lie. So, you're really planning on defending her? Do you know if she can even afford a lawyer? I just can't stand here and do nothing. You saw them, didn't you? There's no way she would murder her father like that. I know that look. I was saving this for a special occasion, but... Ooh! Attorney's Runestone, a magical runestone that allows you to take pictures of crime scenes and write notes telepathically. Every attorney has one. It's almost like a badge for them. It's almost like a... Mine's all scratched up. It's almost like a badge for them. This is... an attorney's runestone. If you're going to defend her, you're going to need one. Badge mention! You begin to tear up. You've wanted one of these ever since you were a child. Oh, it was basically a badge of honor for attorneys. Don't cry, Cuthbert. Sorry. Anyways, keep one thing in mind. If you try to defend her, the Inquisition isn't going to fight you fairly. Our court system only exists to create the illusion of justice. This game is good. This game is good. They hate people like us, and they'll do everything in their power to sabotage you. Damn it. You knew that they'd try to get in your way. You didn't expect them to do it this blatantly. Oh my god, my lights. What's with all this noise? You're that knight from the tavern who had a name in the last thing, but not this time. You're so self-aware of what they're pastiching. That's always fun. That's Commander Orem White to you, kid. Maybe I shouldn't have made him British. I had a feeling Tamora would be sniffing around this case. But I didn't expect her to send a kid to do her dirty work. I guess I'm sticking with it. Commander, he says he wants to talk to the mage. Oh, fun. And she's got a right to an attorney, doesn't she? Well, she hasn't been processed. Commander White looks confused for a moment. Hell kind of bullshit are you trying to pull? Let him through, you idiot. Okay, we both. I think actually making him British was a great choice. It doesn't fit at all. Yes, sir. The knight leads you through the halls of the dungeon. For something built in the capital, it looks extremely old and decrepit. Ooh. You pick up the negative emotions of the prisoners nearby. It's a heavy and almost crushing feeling. You've always had to avoid crowded places because of how sensitive you are to people's thoughts. You've never felt this much concentrated despair before. Hi, Celeste.
Oh, it's you.
Celeste is lying down on the cold she's lying on the cold, hard ground of one of the dungeon cells. But she immediately gets up as soon as she sees you.
What are you doing here?
Miss Tamora told me about what happened to your father. I'm so sorry.
just don't understand. I don't understand any of this. Why would someone do this? And why are they blaming me for it?
I'm not sure about the details, but it's clear that there were elements of magic involved in what happened. Since they arrested you based on that evidence, I can only conclude one thing. Celeste, you're a mage, aren't you? I really like that we just get these constant little emotion reading hits. Yeah, it's nice.
There's no sense in hiding it anymore. Yes, I am.
Do you have noble blood?
Of course not! Why would you say that?
Sorry, but the ability to use magic is hereditary. Most mages tend to have some kind of noble blood.
I honestly don't like thinking about that. I'm the daughter of Jolene and Flintheart McCoy. That's all I need to know about myself.
It would probably be best not to push the matter further. Gee, I wonder if that's ever going to come up again. Anyway, you were probably arrested because you're a mage.
What?
The crime was committed using magic, and you were the only mage found at the time.
Is that seriously the only reason? I only know how to cast one spell.
The Arcane Inquisition doesn't care about the truth. They only care about closing their cases. This game is way better than I was anticipating. Yeah. Celeste, your case is being pushed to trial. You're going to be brought before a judge within the hour.
What? No one told me anything.
Damn it, they weren't even planning on telling her? If you'll have me, I'd like to be your defense counsel for the trial.
Right, I forgot that you were an attorney. Would you really do that for me?
After everything I've seen them do, I can't just stand by and do nothing.
They're a part of the kingdom. Do we even have a chance?
Celeste, man, king, or god, I won't let them do anything to you. Damn, starting it strong, Tyrion. Man, king, or god, what an absolute weenie dork.
What?
Sorry, it's just something I have a habit of saying.
No, don't apologize. I really appreciate you doing this.
Clear this entire situation is bittersweet for her. And because of the Inquisition's delays, you haven't had any time to investigate the crime scene. Yay. I'd say it to all the girls. You were confident before, but you begin to doubt whether or not you can really do this.
Everything is happening so fast. It feels unreal.
No, you have to do this. This is the exact reason why you became a lawyer. No matter what happens, you'll acquit Celeste. Yay! Hi, Arya. A courtroom. I'm in a real courtroom. Actually, entering the courtroom has taken a lot of wind out of your sails. You've never been here as an attorney before. You've only ever acted as Miss Tamura's assistant. Oh, Arya's the one who's 18, I see.
Everybody's baby.
The woman at the prosecutor's bench is staring at you. Miss Tamura mentioned her before you went to see Celeste. What's her name again? You think it was Arya Steelwind. Yeah! You can feel the coldness of her glare burrowing into you. Why is she staring you down? Is she trying to intimidate you? I hope she's like 5 feet tall. I hope she's tiny. Because it's working! The judge is bald as hell. Sorry. Court is now in session. Court is now in session for the trial of Celeste McCoy.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, Human pretty prosecutor. She is indeed quite small, as best I can tell. I hope she's 5 feet tall. I hope she's tiny. The defense is also ready, Your Honor.
He doesn't necessarily sound very ready.
Regardless, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, please list the charges. He's 80 years old? The judge is 80? Bro.
The defendant is Celeste McCoy, a mercenary for hire and a registered mage.
Wait, did she just say mercenary?
Yeah, I had to take up a job after my family's tavern was shut down.
Oh, right. It's not exactly the first occupation you'd choose.
She's charged with second-degree murder and negligent misuse of the arcane arts.
And she'd be in a nursing home. I see, so there was magic involved.
Yes, the crime occurred within the McCoy Tavern, a local inn that shut down years ago. The locals reported hearing a loud commotion coming from within the building. Hours later, a carriage driver that was nearby, I can read, checked the disturbance.
Unfortunate thing is there are no special side-facing assistant sprites. Damn.
It was then that he found the victim, the defendant's sword still impaling his dead body.
Hey, did you know when you take the sword out of a body, it bleeds a lot more than if you kept the sword in? Staring directly at you the entire trial.
The Inquisition has provided an autopsy report and a record of the sword.
That McCoy has been added to your notes. Died after, yep, that sure is her arcane art. Damn. Died after being stabbed from behind with a magical blade. Fatal wound shows heavy traces of transmutation magic. The alleged murder weapon. It's an ornately designed sword, but has no magical properties. What was the defendant's relationship with the victim? I see that they share the same last name. Bro, did you read anything about the trial before?
The defendant is the victim's daughter, but not by blood. She was adopted into the family when she was an infant. Her birth parents are currently unknown.
Look how pristine and updated that autopsy looks. I see. What an unfortunate turn of events.
To begin, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
The British accent was a really bad choice. I'm gonna keep going with it. Name's Orem White. I'm commander of the Arcane Inquisition.
Orem, could you please testify about the details of the investigation?
Yeah. It was a really bad choice in accent. We're gonna keep going with it. We got a call late at night. Someone discovered a dead body inside the McCoy Tavern. When we arrived on the scene, we found Flynn Hart McCoy dead on the floor. The defendant's sword was still inside of him. We have several witnesses who heard the victim and defendant in loud argument before the body was discovered. Their argument must have turned ugly, because the defendant killed the victim using her magic sword. Isn't that really incriminating? Wait, ain't that bad? One of her possessions is the murder weapon. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. You open your mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. You can't think of anything to say. Everything is blank. Mr. Cuthbert?
Hey, what are you doing? This is the part where you say something, right?
Objection, that's devastating to my case. I'm sorry, I don't... Your anxiety is just getting worse and your breaths are becoming more and more desperate. Are you hyperventilating?
What a disappointment. I was hoping to fight against the infamous Ruby Tamora today. But it's clear you can't even hold a candle to her.
Oh. Hello?
Your Honor, it's clear that the defense has nothing to say against the prosecution's overwhelming evidence.
Yep, this case is pretty open and shut. No, wait. This isn't what's supposed to happen. Tyrion, it's me. Believe in yourself. I'm sorry, Tyrion. I couldn't acquit Frey. She was found guilty. What? But that means... Are they going to execute her? No, not again. Oh, you have trauma. You seriously going to let that happen again?
Tyrion!
Les grabs your shoulders and shakes you out of your panic.
You need to calm down.
Her gaze is calm and focused despite the gravity of the situation, but she looks stern, not angry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to...
Stop. Just listen to me. You know what to do, right? Just do it the same way you play chess.
What?
I don't know, you were just so calm and focused when we were playing before. No matter how close I got to beating you, you always knew how to stay calm and win. So just channel that feeling and look at the pieces.
That doesn't make any sense, and yet... You take a moment to focus and let everything else disappear from the world. Every statement that he made, every word that came out of his mouth, each of those is a possible weakness you can attack. Every bleak moment can be turned around. You just need to consider every angle. My apologies for the delay, Your Honor. The defense is ready to begin cross-examining the witness. Very well.
There we go.
Thank God that worked. Carefully examine every statement he made and find something that contradicts the evidence in your notes. Once you do that, present the contradicting evidence and prove that his testimony is false. Okay, let's figure out how to do cross-examination. It looks the same as Ace Attorney, so this should be easy. You are cross-examining a witness. Carefully examine each statement they made and find the statement that contradicts a clue, spell, or profile in your notes. Once you identify the false statement, click the present button and present the contradicting evidence to move forward. Okay, it is in fact the same. Great, great. Let's look at our notes, not our court record. Okay. Magical runestone that allows you to take pictures of the crime scenes and write notes. Attorney's badge. Died after being stabbed from behind with a magical blade. Fatal wound shows heavy traces of transmutation magic. This has no magical properties is the weird thing. No penalties. Oh, no penalties. That's nice. The alleged murder weapon. It's an ornately designed sword, but it has no magical properties. We got no spells. Profiles. Okay. So we already got this one. Occupation bodyguard. Unemployed, attorney, knight, prosecutor. Evocation. Interesting. I'm guessing Arya is noble. Okay. We got a call late at night. Somebody discovered a dead body inside the McCoy Tavern. Wrong evidence present dialogue isn't particularly interesting. Oh, okay. When we arrived on scene, we found Flintheart McCoy dead on the floor. The defendant's sword was still inside him. We have several witnesses who heard the victim and defendant in a loud argument before the body was discovered.
Body was discovered!
Argument must have turned ugly. Ooh! You shouldn't have panicked so much before. His testimony is straightforward, but that will actually make this easier. Assuming that Miss McCoy is innocent, there has to be a flaw in his logic. You just need to compare every statement to each piece of evidence in your notes. Once you find a contradiction, present that piece of evidence to the contradicting statement. Let's press everything. At what time exactly did you get this call, and who discovered the body? Call came in at 1:25 a.m. As for the witness who discovered it, he wanted to remain incognito. It's not unusual for a witness to stay anonymous. It's well within their right. But this would be a lot easier if you could question the witness directly.
What happened when you arrived, Commander?
I like the sound design for the desk slam. As far as I know. Okay. How did you know that the sword was my client's? A sword is made out of some kind of special alloy. This too is Apollo Justice. I think it was forged at the— oh, fuck, I said dialogue. What did he say? Christ. Oh, God. I think it was forged out of the country or something. It's hard to mistake something like that.
We also have several eyewitnesses who verified that the sword belonged to the defendant. She made no effort to hide it from the public. Quite the contrary. She was proud to show it off.
But even if the sword belongs to my client, that doesn't necessarily mean that she was the one who stabbed him. Yeah, well. They were arguing. How did they know it was my client and the victim that were arguing? You were there, weren't you? You had to have heard them too. Every witness we talked to knew it was them. Look at him! Go Manumchan. Well...
Your Honor, it's clear that the defense is playing devil's advocate. Even he should have recognized their voices.
Well, I got you there. Go in, John. That's conjecture. Weren't there plenty of people around who could have committed the crime? The tavern has been closed for years. The defendant, the victim, and Ruby Tomorrow were the only ones there before the body was discovered. Plus, the murder weapon definitely belonged to her. Well, it's a given that Miss Tamora didn't do this, and it'll be hard to prove that someone else was there at the crime scene. But you can't help but feel that there's something off about what he just said. No, go back. Okay. There was something off about this one. It's not a magic sword, it's a completely mundane sword. Objection! Yay. Commander White, you testified that the victim was killed using the defendant's magical sword. Am I correct? Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you look at the crime scene. I think I'd actually have to disagree with you on that. The defendant's sword couldn't have possibly been the murder weapon. What are you talking about, kid? The sword was inside his body. Of course, that's what killed him. That may be the case, but take a look at the totally unupdated autopsy report. Oh, I like this theme too. I like the strings. I missed whatever Tyrion just said. It states that the fatal wound had heavy traces of magic. So how would a non-magical sword leave traces of magic on the body? What? Arya has something up her sleeve. To leave a trace like that, the wound would have had to be created by something magical. My client's sword may look fancy and expensive, but it's entirely mundane. That doesn't make a lick of sense. If the sword didn't kill him, then why was it in the body? Yes, I find that quite strange as well. Well, there's only one reasonable explanation, Your Honor. The wound was created magically, and someone shoved the sword into the wound afterwards. The hell are you talking about? The defendant is a damn mage. She could have easily killed the victim using magic. That may be, Commander. But why would she kill the victim using magic and then stab him with her sword? She would just be incriminating herself. No, if anything, the series of events proves one thing. You are a little overconfident there, Tyrion. Someone used magic to kill the victim. And then they pushed my client's sword into the wound to frame her. Objection! I should make her British.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
What?
Your Honor. That's a weird fucking accent I just did. Your Honor, the defense is trying to spin the facts in his favor. He claims that a third party committed the crime and used the sword to frame the defendant. But wouldn't the simpler explanation be this? Magic was being channeled through the sword at the time of death. That is what left the magical trace on the body. Commander, please tell the defense how the murder was committed using magic.
What? All right. I think I see where you're going with this. It's true that the sword itself isn't magical, but magic can still be channeled through it. That defendant over there, her spell compendium has a spell called Mage Blade. You must have used it on her sword before stabbing the victim. Magic weapon. Yeah. That spell is the reason why there were transmutation of magic on the wound. So her spell compendium contains a spell called Mage Blade. Spell compendium is a magical device that lists every spell a mage can cast. It's a wizard tome. Luckily, Celeste compendium only contains one spell. That means she can only cast that one spell. Celeste, do you have your spell compendium with you?
No, I left it in the tavern after... Well, you know.
If you can't look at the description for Mage Blade, you'll have to approach this another way. The commander's testimony was a lot vaguer this time. If you can press his statements, you might be able to find new information that you can use against him. This is a very well done tutorial. Pressing statement, I already know what that is. True that the sword can... press... Are you saying that my client used a spell and channeled it through her sword?
There are a vast number of spells that operate like that. Spells from the School of Transmutation are almost always channeled through an object.
I love how he didn't answer his press, it was Arya. Mage Blade?
It's a transmutation spell that sharpens my sword. I usually use it when I need to cut through the enemy's plate armor.
I didn't realize that she led such a lethal lifestyle. Anyways, wouldn't it be excessive for the defendant to use a spell like that on the victim? He wasn't wearing any kind of armor during the time of death.
The victim and the defendant were in an intense argument. Perhaps she used the spell in a fit of rage. It was a crime of passion after all.
That theory's a little far-fetched. But you'll need hard evidence if you want to disprove it. But why would you go through the trouble of doing that? Her sword alone would have been enough to commit the murder. Mages are always Mages are always looking for an excuse to throw their power around. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Isn't that just your own personal bias, Commander?
We don't need to understand why the defendant did what she did. The fact of the matter is that magic was present at the crime. Do you have any evidence to the contrary?
No, you don't. Yet. If she used a spell like that, wouldn't that have created traces of magic on the ground? Oh, so. Well, let's say we follow the prosecution's theory. That would mean that the victim fell to the ground with the sword still inside him. At this point, Mage Blade would still be active, right? Tyrion, don't you know if you don't take the sword out of a body, none of the magic falls on the ground. It would definitely leave a magical trace on the ground after making physical contact with it. Hello? We're already way ahead of you. We had our people scan the crime scene. And we found traces of transmutation magic right under the body, just like you said. Oh. If you still don't believe me, I have a picture of the crime scene right here. Yay! New evidence.
Oh? Why was this picture not brought to my attention?
There was no need. The entire case is open and shut. Thank you for the evidence. You've seen pictures of the dead before, but it feels different now that the body is of someone you knew. Yeesh. Okay, let's look at this. Looks like there are traces of magic on the ground. But the shape is a little weird, isn't it? We don't want to look at it properly. Ooh, you noticed. You noticed something was weird. What was that just now? Let's look at that. Look at this photograph. My guess is that this is like not actually a transmutation. Or that might actually be part of the sword. Let me look at the sword a little bit better. That's the sword. My guess is it's not a transmutation. Like this hex pattern is something else. Look at this photograph. But I don't know how to, gameplay-wise, do that. Oh, right. This photo does show that he was stabbed from the front. Why do you feel like there's something wrong with this picture? It'd be a lot easier if you knew the parameters of Mage Blade. But perhaps you can get him to add statements or evidence to his testimony. The only thing that you can do now is press his statements. Ooh, it's called Eye of Horus. Interesting. We already pressed everything, though. Oh, stab from the front. That goes against his... Yeah, stab from behind. Objection! I'm sorry, Commander White, but it seems that you presented another glaring contradiction. Oh yeah? And what's that? You said that my client stabbed the victim from the front? Am I correct? Yeah, you can see it plain in that picture. So where's your contradiction? That's the thing, Commander. Your picture clearly shows that the victim was stabbed from the front. But the autopsy report said that he died from a stab from behind. What?
Objection!
Ulrim, you were supposed to release everything that you had. Why wasn't this photo given to me? There was no need. There's no way it could have been anyone other than that damn mage. He's fantasy racist. Didn't matter how corrupt the justice system was. They wouldn't be able to cover up such blatant incompetence. You have them right where you want them. I kind of like that this first case is not really fighting the prosecutor so much as fighting the entire justice system. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Cuthbert, what is the meaning of this? I'll tell you what the meaning behind this is, Your Honor. As the autopsy report states, the victim died from a stab wound originating from his back. But this photo clearly shows that the sword entered from his front. This can only mean one thing. The sword was inserted into the wound after the fatal wound had already been created. But that's crazy. Do you honestly expect us to believe that? Then please enlighten me, Commander White. How else would the sword be facing the opposite way? Do you think my client stabbed the victim with the hilt of her sword? I didn't think so. What really happened is clear. The real murderer stuck the sword through the victim's wound to implicate my client. But they made a careless mistake and stuck the sword through the opposite side.
Objection! It appears that I underestimated you, Mr. Cuthbert. But you still got ahead of yourself.
Really, Miss Steelman? I believe that Mr. Cuthbert has adequately cast doubt on your case.
Oh, did he now? And let me ask you one question, Mr. Cuthbert. If your client didn't kill Flintheart McCoy, then who did?
That's not my job! But this is an Ace Attorney spinoff, so... Not spinoff, but... How should I know? If I'm not mistaken, it's the commander's job to figure that out. Hey, it's not my job!
Oh, I'm well aware of the commander's incompetence. But one fact still stands. There was magic detected on the wound and the sword. Would you like for me to tell you how many mages live in that small town?
You don't like where she's going with this?
Just one. There's only one registered mage in that entire town. And that mage is your client.
What?
The defendant was also established to have been with the victim hours before his death. She was the last known person with him, and she was the only mage there.
Yeah, they call it out and then immediately subvert it.
In addition to that, I have several witnesses who heard them arguing. How she murdered the victim is simply an unanswered question.
I see. It certainly does change matters. I can't say that the prosecution's evidence is irrefutable, but there is still evidence that casts guilt upon the defendant. Damn it, you almost had them. There are still far too many unanswered questions for me to pass a verdict. We will give law enforcement time to clear these unknowns. I suggest that they conduct their investigation more thoroughly this time. We will resume the poison. The trial tomorrow. Court is adjourned. I love the judge sprite. It's very good. Hello, Cuthbert. As you walk out of the courtroom with Celeste, you were greeted by Miss Tamora. Miss Tamora, you're here? You recall how you froze up during the first cross-examination. No, Mom saw us. You feel a little ashamed that your mentor saw all of that. Well, at the end of the day, you were able to pull it together. And once you did that, you performed adequately. On that note, I wanted to give you this. We're doing day 2 on the intro. Celeste McCoy Spell Compendium. Yay! It contains the formula for the following spell. Mageblade. Thank God. Mageblade. Incantation. Arcane. Gesture. None. Duration 1 minute. Concentration. Yes. For the duration of the spell, the edges of the object, usually a blade, become unnaturally sharp, making it more effective at slashing through tough material. While under the effects of the spell, the object emits a yellow radiant glow. The target object must be no longer than a 5-foot cube. No larger.
My spell compendium?
I swiped it from the dining area before the Inquisition arrived. I thought it'd be best for you two to have it. So, this is your spell compendium. And it only has one spell.
Mageblade.
This means that the prosecution has to prove that Celeste used that specific spell. It will restrict how they approach this case, which gives you an edge over them. Almost like the edge that Mageblade makes. But that prosecutor is really something else. You mean Prosecutor Steelwind? You can still remember her ripping glare. Gives you chills just thinking about it. You wouldn't even know it, but this was also her first trial.
Really?
I thought that her inexperience would make for a good first opponent. That girl, she's a natural in the courtroom. It makes me wonder why a Steelwind would choose to become an attorney in the first place. Flirt's pays mention.
What do you mean?
The Steelwinds are a powerful noble house. Aha! Of the noble families, they are one of the few who do... I'm doing great. Who answer directly to the king. Most members of their house take high-ranking positions in the kingdom's military. Flirt's pays. So it's a bit strange that she chose to become a prosecutor despite that. Steelwind. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before. In any case, it's best that you focus on the trial. You have about a day until court resumes. Right, now that I have time, I'd like to ask you some questions, Celeste. Namely about that argument you had with your father.
Oh.
You see the bailiff glaring daggers at Celeste. It looks like they're waiting to take her back to her cell. Whatever questions you have for her will have to wait.
I should probably go.
Celeste walks away while avoiding eye contact with you. Bringing up her argument with Flintheart may have struck a nerve. I'll also use this opportunity to investigate the crime scene. I wouldn't be surprised if the Inquisition missed something. You utterly embarrassed them today. Don't expect them to make the same mistake twice. Right, there are still a lot of things we don't know about. And as much as I hate to admit it, your skills with deduction far surpass mine. If anyone can figure out what really happened that night, it's you. Yes, I would like to save my progress, thank you. I'm actually going to use that as my cue to take a break. I will be back shortly. Everybody be like so nice in the bailiff, shoot her. Everybody be so nice and well behaved in the chat. It is on screen. I will be back. Everybody hydrate or dehydrate. Get a snack, stretch, etc. back. Hydrated, not dehydrated. Nightbot did a bunch of stuff while I was gone. What is there? Hi, if you're not already a part of my Discord community server, I have a Discord community server, and there is now a Tyrion Cuthbert channel in there. I have a throne wish list full of stuff. Honestly, I don't know what's in my throne wish list anymore. I should probably update it. You can support me by buying games. The games currently on my Nexus... Totally just... The games currently on my Nexus store are the Ace Attorney trilogy, I think. Apollo Justice trilogy, The Great Ace Attorney, Ghost Trick. Oh, you can now buy the entire Ace Attorney series in like one large like bundle. That's up there now. I can't remember if I kept up Devil May Cry. But you can buy those games and support me by doing so. I get a small cut of that through the Capcom Creators program. It'll be very neat. I assume most people already own all of those, though. I did a cover of Sweet Dream from Alien Stage like a week ago for a challenge, and it's my first time using vocal synths. I arranged a choral harmony and made the little robots that live in my computer and eat all the crumbs that fall onto my keyboard sing it with me. It's also my first full cover that I posted that's in Korean. I've done a little bit of Korean singing on my channel before. But that's the first like full song that I've done that's in Korean. What the hell was I gonna say? I don't know. I'm gonna see how much of this game I will get through today, because like I'm getting through it surprisingly quickly. I do not know how much I will get through though, because I also have an early start tomorrow. But hopefully we'll get through a good chunk of it. You arrive back at the McCoy Tavern. Luckily for you, the Inquisition set up a teleportation circle for you to use. Oh, well, that's handy. With that circle, you could magically teleport between the capital and the crime scene instantaneously. Definitely miles better than having to travel by carriage. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Commander White takes notice of you as you entered the tavern. Looks like he's working with a team of knights to investigate the crime scene. I'm the defense attorney in this case? I have just as much a right to investigate this crime scene as you do? Oh, yeah. Whatever. Just remember, I got my eye on you, kid. The accent keeps being funny. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the there is nothing dialogue. Oh, as if I'd help the likes of you. I saw who your boss is and I know what you're up to. That witch probably sent you here to con me. What? I'm just looking for some information. A likely story. He was cooperative before when he let you see Celeste. Why is he being so stubborn now? Is he angry that you embarrassed him in court today? In any case, you won't get anywhere at this rate. If you want his help, you'll need to persuade him through an argument. Ooh! It helps to prepare before starting an argument with someone. Talk to Orem or present items to build a psychological profile for him. If you successfully fill the profile gauge, you'll receive more information during any arguments against him. Guys, let's present our attorney's badge. Yes. What do you think about this? I don't know what you're expecting me to say. Not much to say about that. It'd be best to try something else. Damn. Hey, how about the... Oh. I was like, how about the thing that I embarrassed you about? Bitch. You have anything to say about this? Never seen a real spell compendium before. Still not exactly sure how they work. Well, spell compendiums are magical devices that display exactly which spells a mage can cast. You can probably guess, but the Inquisition uses these things all the time. Right. Having that information is definitely a blessing for the defense and the prosecution. The autopsy report seems to be pretty detailed in some aspects and vague in others. Why is that? I'm not sure about the details, but the autopsy is performed by a mage who studies divination. The magic gives us details about how someone dies, but there's always a few blind spots. I was wondering about that because I'm like, being able to tell that somebody was stabbed from behind is a little, like, I don't know how that works forensically, but if it's magic, that makes more sense. Blind spots? Like what? Well, for one thing, if someone mucks around with the body after death, the report becomes muddled. Divination magic can tell what happened to a body, but not in what order at what times. But someone definitely stabbed Flintheart's body with Celeste's sword. If what he's saying is true, it will be that much harder to figure out what kind of weapon originally killed him. That mage's sword really is strange. Almost a shame that we had to confiscate it. Is it really that abnormal? It's definitely not like any kind of sword I've seen. I wonder if it was forged in the Eastern Kingdoms. I think that's it. Can we present profiles? We can. What do you have to say about Tamora? I have to ask. Something happened between you and Miss Tamora? Ha! Ms. Tamora. What are you, a lackey or something? No, actually, she's my guardian. Oh, I didn't even know she had a... Did you fuck my mom? Did you fuck my mom? I think, listen. He's been weird about her. Look, kid, I don't know what the deal is between you two. No good will ever come from associating with her. This is about the rumors, isn't it? Dad, I think this guy fucked our mom. Throughout the years, there have been several insidious rumors surrounding Miss Tamora. Chad, I think this guy fucked her mom. She's been accused of forgery, blackmail, and all manner of illegal activities. I don't entirely trust Tamora yet. It's clearly misinformation spread by the nobility to discredit her, and has absolutely no actual bearing. She's always been fine with it, but you can't help but get angry on her behalf. More than just rumors, I've seen it for myself. That woman is evil, kid. She defends mages who don't have the protection of the nobility. She's not evil, she's a hero. Yeah, haha. I think this guy fucked our mom. I think he did, guys. Yeah, whatever. It's the way that this is exactly that one gumshoe sprite. Ooh. Hey, you have opinions about mages. You have opinions about mages. I never expected a girl like that to be a mercenary. But I would have also never expected her to be a murderer either. She's not a murderer, and I'll prove it at the trial tomorrow. Yeah, whatever you say, kid. What do you think about this? What do you have to say about me? I never knew Tamora had a kid. Why have I never seen you before? Guys, I'm serious. I tend to say inside a lot. As a child, you couldn't control the Eye of Horus that well. Hearing the myriad of thoughts from a large crowd tended to be overwhelming for you. Wonder what that could be. I've only ever seen her as a ruthless lawyer. Your chance to go hee hee hoo hoo. Hard to imagine a woman like that taking care of a kid. Well, she was just as ruthless as a guardian. So she, like, legit is our mom. Straight up. Oh, we can't ask him about himself. You have anything to say about Arya? I heard that this was Prosecutor Steelwind's first trial. She must be pretty talented if that's true. Pain in my ass is what she is. A damn noble comes in here telling me how to do my job. Man, you don't like anybody. I honestly have no idea what she's even doing in this line of work. Baroque Van Zeek's ass. She's a mage from a noble house, isn't she? She must be a pretty powerful mage. Ha! Powerful is an understatement. As one of the steel winds, she could turn this entire town into a glass crater. What? There's no way that's true. Right? Let's look around. Oh, that's nice. It's very, like, rigid in where you can look. The Inquisition lit some candles, but there's a magical lamp right there. I wonder why they're not using those instead. There's a modern-looking lamp mounted on the wall. The lamp powered by artificery. I didn't expect to find something this sophisticated in a town like this. Ugh, artificery is just another form of magic. Actually, artificery draws from surrounding ley lines to... I didn't ask for a science lesson, kid. Magic is science! Anyways, look where artificery got these folks. The arcane power cell broke and they haven't had any power for weeks. A little body outline is sending me. It does look a little Cuthairing. Nope, nothing can beat good old oil and flame. Broken power cell. It's a painting of a mage, and there's some text on it. Zamala Daglian, a legendary practitioner of the arcane arts. He mysteriously disappeared one day. It's rumored that he was developing a formula for a new transmutation spell. However, he was reckless in casting the spell, and Daglian quickly lost control of its magic. His body was never found. Many speculate that he didn't actually die during the accident, but if it's true, where did he end up? Sounds like a cautionary tale against using magic. Man, shut up. That might explain why Flintheart keeps it in a tavern. Oh, okay, and then he faded away. We got this, we got this, we got that. There's a broken bottle on the floor. It's shattered close to the chalk outline of the body. Fun fact. All these paintings throughout the game are various crowdfunding backers. They're mainly just world building. That's cute. The label has the words Lotus Juice on it. I've never heard of that brand before. Must be foreign. Shattered bottle of Lotus Juice. This too is Persona 3. The shattered remains of a glass bottle. You find it next to Flintheart McCoy's body. The label says the words Lotus Juice. Lotus Juice? In my Tyrion, Cuthbert? It's more likely than you think. Okay, let's look at the dead body. There's a chalk outline of a person on the ground of the tavern. This too is Persona. This is probably where Flintheart died. The outline matches the picture that the Inquisition took. Nothing seems out of place here. Wait, was there one that I missed over here? It looked like there was. I guess not. It's a painting of a man in a suit. There's some text on it. Adam Evely, politician of the Pedantic. Heard of this guy. He's some kind of politician from one of the nations west of here. But he's pretty much a shoo-in to win. That's not how you spell that. Shoo-in to win whatever election they have going there. An election? Was Flintheart studying democracies for his little revolution? So, I get the sense that Flintheart was a... I mean, he wasn't very politically, well-liked, I'm guessing, by the government, by the monarchy. This place has been without power for a week. I wonder if there's any information I can infer from that. They've been using candles to keep the place lit. This is exactly why you can't rely on magic. Okay. You gonna say anything about lotus juice? I wonder what lotus juice is. Definitely not any drink that I've heard of. Must be some kind of imported brand. Ah, you do have things to say. Okay. So, what does the Arcane Inquisition do exactly? You trying to pick a fight with me? No, I'm just genuinely curious. Well, I'm sure you may already know, but us Inquisitors investigate crimes that involve magic. Do crimes like this happen often? Maybe once in a blue moon. Makes sense. Most mages are in the nobility, after all. Even if they're untouchable, they don't make a habit of getting into trouble with the law. You must have an easy job, then. You got that right. The only reason we exist is to clean up the nobility's messes. He doesn't seem that happy about that. Mages. Commander White, you seem to speak negatively about my client's magic. Do you have a personal grudge against mages? You're damn right I do. Wow, you didn't even try to deny it. And if you had any sense, you would too. All a mage has to do is wave their hands and say some magic nonsense. Then you suddenly have a dead body on the ground. Ooh, my earring fell out. Don't get me started on mage blight. Some noble uses their magic too much, they end up snapping and going on a rampage. This is just like Dragon Age Inquisition. Anyway, I have the... Actually, it's just like Dragon Age. All of them, not just Inquisition. I have my, what is it? My Callisto U earrings on for the occasion. My iconography earrings. I really like that there's a magic sickness. I don't know if this is going too far. But why join the Inquisition if you hate mages so much? Considering the fact that, that my job is to sweep the nobility's crimes under the rug. Sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate. Nope, you have the right of it. Anytime a noble is involved in a case, I'm ordered to look the other way. You don't seem very happy to do that. The Fire Emblem ass character designs. Yeah, I was gonna say the, Tamora's cape is like Violet's almost exactly. Why would you stay in this line of work? Because every once in a while I'm allowed to put a criminal mage behind bars. You can't go after the nobles, but any other mage is fair game. Jesus, this guy. Or at least they were before your boss showed up. Your boss? Does he have something against Miss Tamora? Worm White's psychological profile is complete. Let's ask about my mom. I have to ask, did something happen between you and Miss Tamora? Oh, it's the same dialogue, okay. Argument time. Commander White seems unusually hostile towards you. And you have a feeling it's not just because you embarrassed him in court today. If you can clear up this misunderstanding, you might be able to convince him to help you. Let's start an argument. Yeah. But did Orem fuck our mom? That's what we're trying to figure out right now. Alright, I'm just going to come out and say it. Did you fuck our mom? You have a problem with me, Commander White? You should know exactly what my problem is with you. What do I do with... Oh, okay. He's stubborn and stuck in his ways. He seems to have a grudge against Ruby Tamora and will react negatively if you try to defend her. However, he will respect you if you defend yourself against personal attacks. I saw who you work for. Do I have to spell it out for you? Ruby Tamora is a crooked lawyer. Or does your boss not tell you what she gets up to? Elocutions and arguments. Arguments are not always fought using hard evidence. Sometimes you need to elocute to convince your opponent that their claim is wrong. When prompted for an elocution, choose from one of the three possible responses. The correct response can be gleaned from reading your opponent's psychological profile. We shouldn't defend her. Regardless of what Miss Tamora has done, I'm the one heading this case. Doesn't matter how you feel about me or Miss Tamora, what matters is that my client deserves a fair trial with fair representation. In between these two. I feel like this is more... Regardless of what Miss Tamora has done, I'm the one heading this case. Whatever problems you have with her, they have nothing to do with me. Yay! It still doesn't change the fact that you work for her. I've seen that woman do all kinds of shady shit in the cases I've worked. Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you name it. You're just another crook. I'll bet you're the same. Successor for the devil of defense attorneys. I'm not Ruby Tamora. Regardless of what you've seen her do, I'm going to run an honest case. Me being her successor has nothing to do with it. Have you seen me do any of these things? Because all I've done so far is point out the mistakes you've made. I like this one. I like this one. Forgery, bribery, blackmail. Have you seen me do any of those things? Because all I've done so far is point out the mistakes you've made. Playing him as a little bitch. Look, kid, I'd like nothing more than to believe you. But after everything I've seen her do, I know better. I have no reason to trust you. Anyone taught by that woman can't be anything more than a crook. Have you seen me engage in any crook-like behavior? Nothing that I've done has given you any reason to suspect me. You have no proof that she's it. Nope. We're not doing that. We're not defending her. Nothing that I've done has given you any reason to suspect me. Right now, I'm just a defense attorney that's asking you for information.
Hehe.
You want some info, right? Yes, that's all I'm asking for. All right. I'll answer your questions. Just don't make me regret this. He's successfully persuaded Orem White.
Hehe.
Murder weapon. This probably goes without saying, but I don't believe that the sword is the murder weapon. Right. I guess you have to prove that someone else put the sword there. Did the Inquisition find anything suspicious on the scene? If you're asking if we found another bloody weapon lying around, we definitely didn't. That would be a little too convenient, wouldn't it? Let's say that the girl really is being framed. Did I miss a dialogue? If there was another murder weapon, the killer probably walked out with it. Do you think they could have hidden it somewhere in the tavern? Doubt it. After the trial, Steelman turned the place upside down and scanned it with their magic. If someone did hide a murder weapon here, they hid it well. Or they hid it in plain sight. I can't believe you made such an obvious mistake during your investigation. Jesus, Tyrion. Oh, shut it with that. I already got an earful of Steelwind about that mess. Well, you don't have to worry about me mucking things up. I'm allowed to say shit, but I'm not allowed to say fuck. Steelwind's basically taken over the entire investigation. Wait, does she have the authority to do that? Normally she wouldn't, but I know better than to go against orders from a noble. Right, there's definitely a strange power dynamic between them. But honestly, that girl sweats the details too much. Even had my men draw up a scaled map of the crime scene. Wait, really? Do you have a copy? Sure, knock yourself out. Don't know how much good it'll do you. Yay! Crime scene added to your notes. Tell me about Arya. I heard that this was Prosecutor Steelman's first trial. She must be pretty talented if that's true. Wait a minute. Oh, it's the same dialogue. Ah. There's no murder weapon to be found. And there's no obvious evidence of another person at the scene. Hey, you okay? You got quiet all of a sudden. Alright, just focus. Close your eyes and let everything else disappear from the world. Hey, you listening? So, there's no clear evidence pointing to another killer. There is, however, evidence pointing to how Flintheart moved before his death. What? There's no blood trail leading to or from the body. What does this imply about the location of Flintheart's death? The crime scene map is the best. Hold on, let me look at it while I have a chance. Ooh. Yep. This is not a good key for this map. This is a 5x5 square, but it's very hard to see the 5x5 square.
Orem, make me a D&D combat map of the crime scene.
Okay. Ooh, this is fun. Okay. The killer framed Celeste after the investigation. That doesn't matter. Flintheart didn't move for the murder. That's not what I mean. During the murder? Because we're saying he didn't, We're saying the body, like, that is where he died. But grammatically, it's a little... Like you can say, the killer attacked Flintheart during the murder. Like, I sure hope he did. Flintheart didn't move. Didn't move during the murder? Flintheart attacked Flintheart. Didn't move. I sure hope he didn't move during the investigation or the trial. Didn't move during the murder? Flintheart died where he was attacked. Yeah, okay, sure. He didn't move from his position at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's also the autopsy report, which says that he died from a stab from behind. He was probably caught off guard and was too incapacitated to move anywhere else. This means that the attack happened at the exact position he fell over. Okay. There's also the shattered bottle of lotus juice. How did the bottle shatter? I doubt it means anything, but the shattered bottle is right next to the body. Flintheart dropped the bottle during the attack. Flintheart dropped the bottle when he was attacked. From that, we can infer that he was holding it the moment before he was attacked. Nice. What's so strange about one bottle, though? It may seem like an insignificant detail, but that detail could help me infer other elements of what happened during the murder. Right. There's also the fact that the artificery lights were out. Were these candles here when you arrived at the crime scene, Orem? No, we had to light some so we could see the crime scene properly. We thought it was weird, too. The girl and her father must have had their argument in pitch-black darkness. What can we infer about the state of the crime scene? So they didn't light any candles to make up for the broken lights. The crime scene had no lighting during the murder. Yeah? The crime scene had no lighting during the murder? I guess, okay. The crime scene had no lighting during the murder. The argument that Celeste had in Flintheart must have been spontaneous. They weren't planning to have a conversation in this room. In this darkness, Flintheart wouldn't have a lot of visibility. He was stabbed from behind, he probably didn't see it coming. He was clearly surprised and was probably in too much shock to run away. Also, the bottle may seem insignificant, but he was holding it when he was attacked. Maybe he was pouring a drink for himself? Or maybe it was for a visitor? Either way, the assailant must have been unseen by Flintheart. Kid? Or the assailant attacked him from his blind spot while his back was turned. Why would his back be turned, though? Was he distracted by something? Kid! What? What was that all about? Sorry. Sometimes I just get lost in my own thoughts. Yeah, well, cut it out. Freaking me out. Right. Anyway, you think you found everything you can here. You should move somewhere else. Well, that's nice. Rat Home Courthouse? I feel like there's not actually a reason to go to the courthouse, but sure. Oh, Cuthbert. You're back already. Sorry, I guess I'm just a little lost about where to go next. Well, I suppose I can give you some guidance. This time. Oh, yay! Tyrion, yeah, I love that he's just talking to himself constantly. One character role must always be able to assist you. You can speak with them about the investigations or ask them where to go next. Right now, Ruby Tamura is assisting you, but who knows? Maybe someone else might help you in the future. I assume this is just the hints, the what to do. Found a lot of clues, but they don't really tell me what happened. Even so, knowing the state of a crime scene is instrumental to cross-examining witnesses. Right. You'll probably want to make a habit of remembering what you've learned about the crime scene. Such as a possible weird girl. Where should I go next, Miss Tamora? The Inquisition should be done questioning Celeste by now. You'll want to talk to her and find out why she was arguing with Linhart. Nope, that's not the move button. That's the move button. Inquisition Barracks. You returned to the dungeon to speak with Celeste. But when you check the cell that she was being kept in, you see that it's empty. The Inquisition must be questioning her. I should come back later. We were just at McCoy's Tavern. We are Ruby's weird boy. McCoy Tavern upstairs.
If people keep seeing you here, they're going to start asking questions. Leave the investigation to me. All you have to do is stay quiet until the trial is over.
While heading upstairs, you spot the prosecutor having a conversation with someone. Oh, she's not talking to me. They seem to be in some kind of argument. Ooh! Enough! I will do as I see fit. You should also probably be more British. You may be a Steelwind, but this is my land. Oh, sorry. Oh? You're that defense attorney from the trial. I am? I'm sorry, but who? Oh, how rude of me. My name is Lord Garrick Pierce, the ruling noble of this land. I hate this asshole. Excuse me. As the ruling noble, I suppose I should thank you for playing your role in the current trial. Not the Ocho-sama pose. As misguided as it might be. I suppose that you also think my client is guilty? It does not matter what I think. This entire scandal has done nothing but rile up the common folk. Magic is a gift for the nobility and the nobility alone. Oh, he sucks. Oh, he's terrible. He's horrendous. It is a symbol of the aristocracy and our divine right to rule. I need to send a screenshot of this man to somebody right now. Oh my god. Wow, he's horrendous. This guy. And now that bastard child has tainted the symbol in the public eye. All of that has nothing to do with her. She's just an innocent woman who got wrapped up in all this. Even if she is innocent, the charges have been laid and made public. Someone must take the fall, lest the public accuse the justice system of corruption. So you're saying that she should be found guilty even if she's innocent. What do you suppose will happen if she's acquitted? All the public will see is a mage going free despite a myriad of evidence. That alone would be enough to cause public outrage. Tensions between the aristocracy and the common folk are high enough as it is. And what is one insignificant girl when compared to the stability of a great kingdom? This guy. That's
enough. Stop antagonizing him, Pierce. I can't refute what he said, but I don't agree with it.
What?
The system should be based on truth and justice, not on public opinion.
Then why are you working against my client? Do you honestly think she's the kind of person that would kill her father?
It doesn't matter what kind of person she appears to be. The evidence clearly points to her as the only possible killer.
I like her. I like Arya.
But you should fight according to your own ideals. Just as I will fight for mine.
I like her. Try to get a read on that woman. Can I see anything? Several doors lead to guest rooms. Aside from the rooms that you and Miss Tamora used, they don't look like they've been open for quite some time. There are some candles lighting up the hallway. They look like they used to be part of the old architecture. There's a door at the end of the hallway. It looks like it's seen some use recently. Oop. You try to open the door, but it seems to be locked. Perhaps someone might have a key to open it? Okay, now can we go talk to her? Ah, there we go. The ambient despair in the air fills your mind like a horrendous stench. You do your best to ignore the emotions of the other prisoners, but you haven't had much practice blocking out this many people. As you arrive, you see Celeste huddled down in a corner. As soon as she sees you, her dour mood seems to lift, if only for a moment.
Oh, hi, Mr. Cuthbert.
There's no need to address me so formally. Just call me Tyrion.
Okay.
Anyways, I came here to ask you some questions about the case.
Right.
I'm sorry for freezing up like that. I almost lost us to trial. The trial.
No, there's no need to apologize. You did great.
But it was only thanks to her. If she hadn't calmed you down, who knows what would have happened. Classic lawyer game. Self-doubt.
But I still don't understand, though. Why were there traces of magic on my dad's body?
Right, those traces of magic were on the sword and the body. Magical traces are particles of magical residue that are left behind when a mage casts a spell. They only linger for around 48 hours, and that gives you a rough timeline of when and where a spell is cast. Did you cast Mage Blade on your sword that day?
I did. I usually cast it when I train in the morning.
Good lawyer game content. That explains why there was a trace on the sword, at least.
Did the trace on my sword leave the magical trace on my dad's body?
No, magical traces can't be moved around physically. For a spell to leave a trace, it has to be active when a physical contact is made.
Really? What does that mean, then?
Whatever killed your father had a transmutation spell active on it at the time. The magical trace on your sword was just an unlucky coincidence.
I can't believe this.
Could you tell me more about your father? Sorry, I know this must be difficult after everything that's happened.
No, it's okay. If it helps you, I'll try my best to answer your questions.
Were you two close?
We were... I'm sure you know this by now, but I was adopted by him and my mom. But even though I didn't have their blood, they treated me as if I did. He loved me with all his heart until...
Until what? Does this have something to do with the argument that they had? I'm sorry to say this, but I could hear your argument from my room that night. Could you tell me about what happened?
For as long as I can remember, my dad has hated mages. I'm not sure why, but if you mention magic around him, he'd fly into a rage.
Did magic kill your wife?
So I hid my magic from my family.
But why even learn magic in the first place? Blur space mention. If you really wanted to, you could have gone your whole life without using it.
Ever since our tavern closed, my family's been in a lot of debt. I decided to become a mercenary and use magic to enhance my ability to fight. Most mages are in the nobility, so people will pay a lot for a sellsword who can use magic.
That's why she's a mercenary. Oh, it's not from the OST. Interesting.
But I know now, learning magic was the biggest mistake I've ever made. On that night, my dad found my spell compendium. When he confronted me about it, I finally came clean to him. That's when he flew into another one of his rages. He shouted at me. He told me that I'd betrayed him and his family.
I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how that must have felt.
I deserved every bit of it.
No!
I knew how much he hated magic, but I learned to use it anyway. He showed me so much love, and I just threw it all away.
Don't say that. I'm sure he still loved you.
No, I could see it in his eyes. He hated me, and he died hating me.
You feel a sharp pain in your chest as you see that thought. So, there's a locked room in the tavern. It's at the very end of the hallway upstairs. The Inquisition probably searched it already, but I just wanted to investigate it to make sure.
A locked room at the end of the hallway? I think that's my room.
Do you know how I could get in there? It's the only room in the tavern that I haven't investigated. Period. A girl's room is a chamber of bittersweet secrets. You feel a suspicious gaze from Celeste. What's that look for? I'm your lawyer. I'm not gonna do anything weird.
Sorry, you're right. Here, you can use this key to get inside.
Let's present shit. Something bittersweet memories. Look at my attorney's badge. Damn, she doesn't say anything. Mage Blade.
It's a spell that magically sharpens my sword so that I can cut through plate armor.
When would you even need to use a spell like that?
Well, it's not just for plate armor. I can cut through all kinds of things with it. Trees, boulders, ballista, fortified gates. It cuts through most of those things like butter.
I don't wonder what kind of life she led before this case. Okay. Let's go back to her room. Do I have to... How do I... Oh. Mage Blade is my soul. You used the key to enter Celeste's room. However, you're startled when you notice that someone else is already inside. Ugh.
Already told you knights everything I know. What more do you... Oh, aren't you Celeste's attorney?
I am? Who are you?
Oh, how rude of me.
I'm alive.
I'm Jolene McCoy. I'm Celeste's mother. I don't know why I'm British and nobody else in the family is. I was at the trial this morning. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for my daughter.
Boobs. I might be able to tell you more about Flintheart. About that. Do you mind if I ask you some questions for my investigation?
Of course, I'll do anything I can to help.
Can you tell me why your husband hated mages so much? I understand that most people dislike the nobility and associate magic with them. But on that night, it's like he was furious at Celeste specifically because she was a mage.
Oh, you must have talked to Celeste. I wasn't there when their argument happened, but I can only imagine what he said to her.
McCoys have best tracts of land. Do you know what happened to him? Why does he hate magic so much?
Celeste doesn't know about this. But years ago, Flintheart had a sister named Effie. When we were all children, we were friends with a boy named Garrick Pitt. He was the son of the ruling noble at the time.
Garrick Pierce. Isn't that the nobleman that was speaking with Steelwind earlier? Insert Fujikami joke.
We were all inseparable at the time. He'd always sneak into town to play with us against his family's wishes.
They probably weren't too happy about that.
He was quite rebellious back then.
He's a completely different person now.
But everything changed when the Pierce family attacked. One day when we were playing together, he wanted to show off the spells that he learned. He was told not to use his magic without his instructor there, but he was just too excited. He began casting his spells, but something went horribly wrong. He lost control of his magic and fatally wounded Effie.
Oh, he pulled a Bethany Hawk.
We tried bringing her back into town, but by that time it was too late. She was already gone.
I'm sorry, that must have been traumatizing for all of you.
The next day, the Arcane Inquisition came to investigate what happened.
House Pierce used their connections to cover up what happened.
They even threatened Flintheart's family into keeping quiet. For that, the official story was that Effie had been mauled by a wolf.
That's not surprising. The nobility seldom take responsibility for their actions, even for a mistake like that. Flintheart's sister has been added to your notes.
Something changed in Flintheart after that. He began speaking out against the nobility. Eventually, he started hosting rallies in this very tavern. Each night, more and more people began listening to his words and joining his cause. The number of people that he'd gotten under his banner was terrifying. There was even talk of an outright revolution against the kingdom.
Huh. That might explain why someone would go out of their way to kill him.
I knew how much danger he was putting himself in. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't convince him to stop. His attitude didn't even begin to change until we adopted Celeste.
Can you tell me more about Celeste? How did she become a part of your family?
It all happened many years ago, back when the McCoy Tavern was still open. We were closing one night when we found a baby with white hair banded in the dining area. We waited years for her.
We waited years?
We waited weeks for her parents to come by. No one ever came looking for her.
Did Karen Pierce fuck Celeste's mom? And that baby was Celeste?
Yes, Flintheart and I had always wanted a child. I thought that Celeste must have been his gift from the Scaled Lord. But one day I saw Celeste practicing her magic. I think that's when I realized that someone from the nobility must have abandoned her at her inn. I didn't care, though. Loved her all the same. I'm sure Flintheart did, too.
Wait, you knew that she was a mage all this time?
I did. You haven't known her for very long, but she's a terrible liar. Flintheart must have noticed, too. But I think that he didn't want to believe it. It's my fault. I should have forced him to see the truth.
I spoke with Celeste earlier. She thinks that her father hated her because she was a mage.
There's no way he would ever feel that way. He loved her more than anything in the world. No matter what he said to her that night, nothing would ever change that.
After seeing them together, you figured as much.
Celeste was the world to him. When we adopted her, it was the first time in decades that I'd seen him so genuinely happy.
They must have been really close.
More than anything. You want to hear a story? Celeste had just returned from her travels. She wouldn't stop talking about this foreign drink that she loved.
Lotus juice? Yeah.
I think it was called lotus juice or something strange like that. Well, Flintheart did everything he could to have it shipped here. He called in a bunch of favors with some of his revolutionary friends. But in the end, he was only able to get a single bottle of it.
Is it really that rare?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the only bottle of lotus juice in the region.
Wait a minute, lotus juice? That's just like Persona 3. Is this the bottle that Flintheart bought? You show her a picture of the shattered bottle that you found next to Flintheart's body.
It is? Oh no. He was going to surprise her with it.
It was the first time in decades I'd seen him genuinely happy, not even on our wedding day.
I found the broken pieces next to Flintheart's. Well, I found them in the dining area. That's strange. He'd been keeping it in our room so she wouldn't find it.
Really? When was the last time you saw it?
Right before I left the house that night. It was right before their big argument.
So it wasn't just laying around in the bar. You decided to retrieve it after the argument. You wanted to apologize. Okay. One last conversation with Celeste. My voice is getting tired. But we need to make sure that she feels that she was loved by her dad.
Oh, you're back. Did you forget something?
Actually, there's one last thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh?
Earlier you said something that I just can't let go. You said that your father died hating you. But after everything I heard about him, I don't think that's true. Your father loved you, Celeste, even in his final moments. You desperately want to reach her. She keeps believing that he hated her. That thought will eat away at her for the rest of her life. You know that better than anyone else. But it looks like it won't be that simple. Trimple, even. We'll need to win an argument against her if you want her to see the truth. You just need to convince her. Let's help this girl get over her trauma through an argument. Let's try.
I know you're just trying to make me feel better, and I really do appreciate it. But everyone knows that my father hated mages.
Oh, we do have everything. Okay. Flintheart's sister. I don't know if it's my place to say this, but there's a reason why your father hated magic so much.
What?
When Flintheart was a child, he had a younger sister. She was tragically killed by a mage decades ago. That's why he had such an immense hatred for magic.
I never knew. That doesn't change anything. That's all the more reason for him to have hated me. I knew how much he hated the magic, but I still learned to use it anyway. Magic killed someone that he loved. No wonder he was furious.
Oh god, what do we have for this? Oh god. But you didn't learn magic to benefit yourself, did you? You learned it to save your family after your tavern was shut down.
That's...
You're a good person, Celeste. And you did everything you could to help your family. I'm sure your father recognized that.
Shut up.
What?
Shut up! Just stop it!
Whatever composure she had before is slowly breaking down.
You weren't there. You didn't hear what he said to me. I could see it in his eyes. There's no way he would ever forgive me.
Butthole. Lotus juice. Look at this photograph.
What? Shattered bottle. Wait, is that a bottle of lotus juice?
You know where I found this? On the floor of your family's inn.
What? That can't be true. I tried to find it here, but nobody sells it in Wyverngard.
Your father knew how much you loved this drink. He called in quite a few favors just so he could have it imported for you.
What? He did that?
Your father didn't hate you, Celeste. He loved you more than anything.
That doesn't change anything. If he did that all for me, it was before he knew about my secret. I'm sure he never would have done that if he knew the truth.
It's not true at all.
What the hell would you know about him? You barely even knew him. How could you possibly know how he felt about me?
Tyrion and Celeste, aw, they have a shared OST theme.
Don't you think I want to believe that he still loved me before he died? But I know the truth. There's no way he would ever forgive me for what I did.
It's not just the fact that he bought that drink for you. It's also where the bottle was when it shattered.
What do you mean?
Your mother said that the bottle was stowed away in her room before that argument. But I found the shattered bottle in the lobby, where his body was. I ran into him before I went to look for you. He was going upstairs to his room. That can only mean one thing. He went to retrieve the bottle after your argument ended.
What? Why would he have it?
It's because he was going to give it to you, Celeste. He was going to give you a gift to apologize for what he said to you.
He was going to apologize?
Your father loved you, Celeste. And as tragic as it is, he was going to try to apologize to you before he was murdered. I don't like this. My daughter, working as a mercenary of all things.
Come on, Dad. You know I can handle myself.
I don't doubt it, but you still shouldn't have to risk your neck for our sakes.
They closed the inn, Dad. We won't be able to survive unless I do this.
Just be careful, okay? I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you. No matter what anyone says, you're our daughter, and we'll love you until the day we die.
Dad, how could I ever think that... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Dad.
Celeste had barely been keeping it together throughout the whole argument, but her realization is finally causing her to break down. She begins crying loudly as she quickly embraces you. In this cold, dark place, she probably hadn't felt any kind of warmth for... Probably hadn't felt the warmth of any kind for days. You're caught off guard and feel a little embarrassed, but you comfort her while she vents her emotions. Argument 1. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I think I'm okay now. I've been thinking such horrible things this entire time.
She looks at you and gives you a warm smile. Probably the first time you've seen her genuinely smile since this whole ordeal started. Thank you. But is everything really going to be okay? I'll make sure of it. I'll get justice for you and your father. Doesn't matter who stands in my way. Even if they're a man, king, or god. He said it again! Completely different now. What happened to the nervous wreck from before? Please forget about that. Anyway, take some time to rest. Trial is going to resume soon. With that, you've done everything you can for now. You've learned a lot about what happened the night of the murder. You just hope it's enough. But even with your investigation, you still don't know what the prosecution has planned. He's such a goober.
As Pierce told you of the Mr. Rudolph. Will you remember them?
Yes, I pride myself on my eidetic memory.
Just so there are no misunderstandings. I do not approve of this.
You said it yourself, Lady Steelwind. There's no possible way that I could have done the deed. It has to be the bastard child. We don't know what sort of tricks Ruby Tamora might pull tomorrow. Just see this as a way of securing a just verdict. I really like that it's sort of the Apollo Justice thing of Apollo is the lawyer, but you keep getting like oh, we don't know what Phoenix Wright is going to pull, even though it's Apollo doing his actions. That said, I'm not unconvinced that Tamora isn't puppet mastering a little bit. Also, my voice is really tired, so we're not going to do the trial today. But we did the, hold on, can I go back to the title screen? I would like to go back to the title screen. I would go back to the title screen. Yeah. But I really like that they're like, ooh, we don't know what Tamora is going to pull when it's definitely Tyrion, who is the attorney that's in charge of the case. My throat is so tired. I have an early start tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming out to watch Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. It's fun getting to play a new game that I don't actually know anything about for stream. Nightbot just did its spiel, so I'm not going to pull up the commands again, but as usual, if you're not already in there, feel free to join my Discord server. If you would like, you can check out my wish list. I have a Throne wish list that I really need to update. You can support me by buying games. All of the titles that I have on my store right now are Capcom titles, so we got the giant bundle of all the mainline Ace Attorney games. Apollo Justice Trilogy, The Great Ace Attorney, maybe the original trilogy, I don't remember. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Please, for the love of God, play Ghost Trick. I think the Devil May Cry HD trilogy, not certain. I have a new cover out this last week, I want to say. That was Sweet Dream from Alien Stage that I did for the Play Against Type challenge that was hosted by Kingsley. It's my first time doing any vocal synth production that was done without a pre-made synth file. I arranged the harmonies myself, and the funny little robots that live in my computer sang it with me. As for Tyrion Cuthbert, we should be back next Saturday to presumably finish this trial, or at least finish this part of the trial, and then continue on. The goal is to finish this game before September 6th, when Investigations comes out, because I would like to start streaming Investigations immediately. So I may increase streaming days if it looks like we're not going to finish that in time. Actually, how many cases? How many? Can we see? Oh, there's 5. Ooh, who is that? Sorry. There are 5 cases. We'll see how that goes, but for right now, my regular streaming day has shifted to Saturdays. And I'm liking how that's working, because I think more people are free on Saturdays than random weekday. Yeah. I'm gonna go rest my voice, eat a sandwich, go to sleep. Everybody else also take care of yourself. Have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you presumably next week. Good night, everybody.